artificial intelligence is the most in-demand skill that you can learn in 2026. In India, AI engineer roles are seeing a 30 to 40% growth year over year. That is insane. The average package is 10 lakhs and fast growing startups are even paying 18 to 20 lakhs per annum to people who can understand AI models and build on top of them. My journey of learning AI began all the way in 2019 by this book called Hello World by Hannah Fry. After which, I started learning about all types of AI models and how to build them and learned a lot along the way. But if I was starting from scratch, this is exactly how I would learn AI in 2026. I'll share all the topics I would learn and where I would learn it from. And keep watching because I'll share an amazing certification in AI that you can take offered by Simplilearn. But let's get back to the topic. The first skill to learn in AI is basics of programming. You don't need to learn about the complex stuff right now. Just understand how do machines operate and how can you program simple apps. So learning basics of programming, things like conditionals, for loops, functions, OOP concepts, data types. I would take a Python and learn the basics of programming through it and then also learn to build simple programs with it. Now, Tech with Tim has a great Python playlist which you can go through and learn all the basics of Python and get your fundamentals right. So once I have enough understanding of Python and how it works, I would then move on to learn about basics of maths. You don't need to worry, we're not talking about complex maths, just understanding the basics of linear algebra, learning about things like matrices and determinants, vector product and dot product, learning about probabilities, so Bayes theorem, random distribution, and then you learn a bit of calculus. So this would involve learning about derivatives, about gradient descent. If you want to learn about maths effectively, the best platform would be Khan Academy and 3 Blue 1 Brown. I just love the way they explain everything and make it so simple. Step number 3 is to learn about data analysis with Python. Now, since you are building AI models to predict things, to come up with conclusions, you need data to train AI. And you need to first learn how to interact with data. And that is where data analysis comes in handy. First of all, you need to learn about NumPy. NumPy is a great library through which you can take data into arrays and you can sort them and you can apply all types of functions on it. Next up, you need to take a look at pandas. Pandas is a great tool for you to turn data into tables, columns and rows and perform functions on top of it. And you can perform any types of sorting action or any other function with the help of pandas. Matplotlib is a great way for you to visualize data that you have. So you can turn it into charts, into pie charts, bar graphs, line graphs. Now this will form your basis of data analysis. And freeCodeCamp has an amazing video on data analysis that you can look at that explains all of these 3 libraries in depth along with different examples and projects. Now, if you're serious about building a real career in AI in 2026 and beyond, this course is for you. It's called as the Professional Certificate Program in Generative AI, Machine Learning and Intelligent Automation, offered by IHFC, Technology and Innovation Hub of IIT Delhi, powered by Simplilearn. This is an 11-month program where you learn through masterclasses by IHFC associated faculty and researchers. You learn to work with 20 plus tools like Python, LangChain, TensorFlow, ChatGPT, and more, and complete 165 plus guided exercises and 12 plus real projects that take you from fundamentals to advanced AI automation. Once you finish, you will get a program completion certificate from IHFC, Technology Innovation Hub of IIT Delhi, plus a certificate hosted on the Microsoft Learn portal, which adds high value to your resume. If you're aiming for roles like AI engineer, ML engineer, data scientist, AI researcher, or just building out your own AI projects, this program offers you everything. The roadmap, the skills, and the projects that you need to stand out in the 2026 job market. And if you're thinking about eligibility, you just need a bachelor's degree with 50% or above and 2+ years of experience is preferred. To learn more about the program, check out the link in the description of this video. Next up is for you to learn about machine learning concepts. So now we are finally getting into it and getting our hands dirty with machine learning models. Now, depending on the problem you want to solve, there are different techniques and methods that you can use. Let's take a step back and look at our data. Is your data labeled or unlabeled? Well, if your data is labeled, then you can use a set of methods which are under supervised learning. It's a branch of machine learning models in which your data is labeled. So you know exactly that this image is of a cat. In the case of unlabeled data, say you just have lots of random data and you need to pick out patterns and differentiate between them. That's where you should look at unsupervised learning. And the last one is reinforced learning. And we'll come to that in just some time. Let's talk about supervised learning. So in this case, you have two different problems that you will be solving. Number one would be a regression problem. Say you want to predict the future rainfall in Bangalore. That's a regression problem. Next up is a classification problem. You have to differentiate between two groups, group A, group B, cat or dog. And based on what you want to do, there are various methods that you can apply for it. For example, you have linear regression, you have logistic regression, you have K nearest neighbors, you have support vector machines, you have decision trees, you have random forests. Now, all of these come under the umbrella of labeled data and supervised learning. Talking about unsupervised learning, you have a variety of techniques. The most popular one is K-means clustering. Now K, you're hearing again and again. K is basically a number that you pick and you look at the nearest groups and then you find patterns and similarities between them, and then you create these groups and sections, and then you can predict which section is this next data going to fall into. And now the last part is reinforcement learning. In this case, you don't really have data. You only have an environment and you have your agent. And the idea is to teach this agent to learn, to interact and win in this environment. Say you have a Flappy Bird game and you want the Flappy Bird to actually win this game. So the environment is the pipes and the agent is the Flappy Bird. Now your goal is to teach Flappy Bird to play this game. So it will keep playing the game. It will randomly press spacebar. It will fail a bunch of times, but every time it progresses a little further, you incentivize it, you reward it for doing the right thing, for maximizing the score. And so it will find a pattern with which it is able to maximize the score and play the game for as long as possible. That is the idea of reinforcement learning. You will see it all the time in driverless vehicles, in teaching drones, in learning how robots can operate in real world environments, in training how to play games, in simulation environments. All of these come under the umbrella of reinforcement learning. Unsupervised learning is very popular for, let's say, customer segmentation, while supervised learning is exceptionally great at creating recommendation systems. Anything that involves prediction of the future value of something, regression and supervised learning is exceptionally great for that. And then you have another type of machine learning models called neural networks. These are based on the way our brain performs with different nerve endings. And so you have something called nodes which are placed, and you have layers. You have an input layer and you have an output layer. And in between, you have something called as a hidden layer. Hidden layer is where all the magic really happens, which you don't really know or get to see. This is where you learn about something called as feed-forward neural networks. There's something called as backpropagation through which you'll be able to optimize this neural network for the desired outcome. Then you will learn about something called as weights and biases. Essentially, the output of one hidden layer will be the input for the next hidden layer. This is where we get into the realm of deep neural networks. Deep neural networks can have multiple hidden layers in the middle. Now, this would also be a good time for you to learn about different frameworks that will help you to build machine learning models. The first one is TensorFlow. Developed by Google, this is an amazing way for you to quickly create different models and test it out. They have this thing called Keras that you can basically reference. So TensorFlow tf.keras, and then you can start creating any neural network. Next up is PyTorch, which is another library that can help you create machine learning models much more efficiently. You can also access different data sets using something called as scikit-learn. And again, when you're doing all of this, it's a great idea to go on Kaggle and start competing and trying out different data sets and problems and trying to solve all of them. So these are all the ways in which you can start applying your knowledge and building projects along the way. And then there are different types of neural networks. So you have something called as convolutional neural network, which is especially used for computer vision. Then you have recurrent neural networks, which are great for sentiment analysis. And then you have transformers. And that is where we enter the next realm of generative AI. And this is what will actually get you hired in today's day and age. So learning about transformers and large language models. This is an exceptional paper written by Google and released for everyone to use called Transformers. And you should read it, understand how transformers work, and then learn about how large language models operate on this fundamental explanation of transformers. Learn about how does attention work? How does memory work? What is tokenization? Learn a bit about fine-tuning a model. Learn about how to use frameworks like LangChain to build a simple AI model app. Then You should learn about how to use different AI models and then use open source models as well. Learn how to integrate different tools. How can a AI model call different tools and use them? Learn how to create workflows and automations with the help of these AI LLMs. Andre Karpati has an amazing YouTube channel where it breaks down all of this in much more depth, and I just love the way he explains everything. You can learn about neural networks, machine learning, and all of its types from, again, freeCodeCamp's free YouTube videos. Now, let's take a look at how do you actually get hired. Well, it's all about presenting yourself effectively. First of all, you need to start building at least 5 to 6 projects that you can showcase to people. This would involve a couple of basic, classic machine learning model, one project which is on computer vision. Then you can build 2 to 3 generative AI apps. You can implement RAG, you can have different agents, and all of this will tell the person that you are hireable as a generative AI engineer and you can start building stuff right off the bat. Once you understand all of this, you should create an amazing GitHub profile, which has a clear and concise README. It also showcases all of your projects and people can actually click on them and try it out live. The third step is actually to create a personal website where you have showcased all of your projects, all of your skills, all the stacks that you use. You have some blogs explaining how you built all the projects that you have, and all of that makes your application much more stronger. And once you do all of this, now it's all about being visible in front of the recruiter. So be present on LinkedIn, write and document your journey of building different models on AI, be a part of different communities, go for all the meetups as much as you can here in Bangalore. And then the next thing you can do is to even start a YouTube channel. I think that's the best way to actually get in front of companies and get hired. A lot of people I know start a YouTube channel not to become an influencer, but to just be presentable and get eyeballs of recruiters from top tech companies, and they get messages from them and then they actually get hired. All of this works only if you are visible in front of them. That is essentially how it works. This is exactly how I would learn AI if I had to start from all over in 2026. Let me know if you have any questions below in the comment section, and also check out the Simply Learn course with the link in the description as well. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.